Hopefully there's nothing to that. But if there is, we'll find out soon enough. And while we're in Emerald Stair, there's something I've been putting off. An old friend from my time in Thirdborn had a cabin out in the woods. Tama. He passed a while ago, but he left something for me that I never got around to picking up. But since we'll be in Emerald Stair anyway... Better late than never. Can't give him a reason to go haunting me, right?
So you're planning on straying from the roads, huh? That changes a few things.
You won't regret it. Emerald Stair's lovely this time of year. Even the Delimgon bloom.
No matter what I tell you, you keep picking flowers from things that want to kill you.
Hey, they love me. You just gotta ask nicely. Compliment their foliage.
Right. Maybe buy them a drink before they choke you to death with vines.
Tama's old house. Wonder what he wanted me to find. Place feels different without him. Tama painted that? I had no idea. He left something behind for me. Help me look around. So much here reminds me of Tama. It's strange to be back without him. I still can't imagine what he wanted me to find. Say, what's that you're holding? Yeah, it is. His most prized possession. Damn you, Tama. Damn you. I carved this for him years ago. I had no idea he'd kept it, let alone... And he tells me like this, when he's long gone, leaving me with nothing but a piece of driftwood I gave him years ago. The man kept a journal of poetry. He never had a problem with words. And we knew each other for years. We were close. I trusted him with things in my past. Things I don't talk about. Sometimes I wish you weren't so damn perceptive. If he really did, he would have told me. I was a mess when we met. I'd been through the battles in Deadfire and a handful of mercenary campaigns since. I was a chewed-up piece of flotsam drifting to the living lands. Oh, I don't blame him. Tom always saw right through me. He knew what I was. A coward. I let him down. He was always there when I needed him. But when he needed me, I can't ask him now, can I? I'm sorry. I don't mean to take this out on you. You wouldn't say that if you knew. Never mind. I haven't talked about this in a while, so... Thanks for listening. It means a lot. Especially since you seem to have your head on straight. Let's keep moving. A little fresh air will clear my head. Hey, about earlier. Sorry for going off like that. I haven't talked about Tama in a while. I haven't had much of a crew lately, and it's been easy to follow your lead. Seeing the choices you've made has put me at ease. Maybe a little too much. First time for everything, huh? I'll be here if you need me. Listen, I hate to ask this, but while we're in Shatterscarp, there's something I need to do. Something I owe Tama. There's an old battlefield near some Pogrunan ruins. Area called the Shark's Teeth. Tama lost his badge there. I need to get it. Thanks.
Takes courage to go back for something you lost. I wouldn't have it in me.
Get some rest. Sleep is good for the soul. I wanted to say, for all of its imperfections, Fiormis Iverno deserves a second chance. Thanks to you, it has one. I won't forget it.
Why can't the way forward in science ever be easy?
Left leg!
Get off me!
Unseat!
That's all right.
Point for you! Unseat!
That's Tama's badge. You found it. It really was out here all this time. Right where we left it. Guess I shouldn't be. I was here when he lost it. It reminds me of old times. Long marches under the desert sun. Scouting runs through sandstorms so thick we had to tie our tunics over our mouths. Oh, he was an incredible bastard. Led the defense of Thirdborn, which meant he also led most of our patrols. He'd wake us up before dawn with the most off-key singing you've ever heard and a pot of burnt merc brew. He kept us marching until we had sand in every orifice you can think of, and a few you didn't know you had. Just when it felt like we were gonna collapse, he'd call it and we'd make camp. And somehow, we'd all find the energy for a few rounds of cards or songs or stories. He was the best I ever knew. Coming back here was a mistake. I don't know what we're doing here. Closure. I never understood the term. Just feels like swallowing the thing that makes you sick. Here's the truth. I led a patrol. We were ambushed. Tama came to our rescue. And he suffered a fatal wound in the process. No. He hung on. He was the color of an eel's belly. The stubborn bastard made it all the way back to Thirdborn. We got him a sickbed, but we knew he didn't have long. I wish I could believe that. You ever had to watch someone fade away? When it's slow and agonizing. No glory, no din of battle, no distractions. Then you know. It's like sitting still while someone drags rusty nails over your skin. Sitting there, I noticed that he was missing his badge. And all the time I'd known him, I'd never seen him take it off. Then you get it. To an old trencher like him, That badge meant belonging. Honor. I went... I'm sorry, Envoy. I haven't talked about this in a while. I never thought I'd tell this story again. But there's something about the way you've led us, the clarity you've kept. Something about you that inspires confidence. Kind of like a... well... thanks. Just having his badge in hand means more than you know. There's just one last thing I've got to do. What can I say? Guess I never liked graveyards, but there's a memorial site with some cairns on the cliffs east of Thirdborn. One of those cairns is Thomas. It's time I said goodbye. It's the least he deserves, especially after... Never mind. Let's go.
Trespassers! Who goes there?
Someone's
That's
poisoning
right!
us.
Thomas Memorial. Never thought anything could contain that man, you know? That booming laugh, that bottomless appetite, boundless energy. Now he's under a pile of rocks. You're just making this more real. This is where you're supposed to distract me, lighten the mood with a wisecrack or something. Well, you didn't have to give me the truth. There's something I didn't tell you about Thomas' death. Remember how I noticed he'd lost his badge? I went out. I told him I was going to go find it. He told me to stay. I said I'd be right back. No. You'd have come back. I walked away, Envoy. And I kept walking. You're right. I used to think it would fade over time. But guilt's like a fine wine. Now you know why I never went back to his house in Emerald Stair. Why I never came back to Thirdborn. I wouldn't know what to do with something that fancy sounding, even if you did. I just figured I owed you some honesty. The truth is, traveling with you and Marius, getting to know Giada, Yardsley, it's felt easy. Too easy. I've gotten comfortable. You're so clear-headed, so easy to follow, that I've been able to fall in line and back you up. But I'm not that guy, Envoy. I'm not a joiner. I'm good for a skirmish, some war stories, a few drinks, but I'm not someone you keep around. Oh, come on. You sniffed out the plot to raise Fjord and you stopped it. But me? I let people down. I let them down when they're counting on me most. Self-compassion? That's a balm for outbursts and hangovers. I know what I am. I'm finally facing it. Except he's gone. There's no making it right. I gotta own that. What? No, I didn't. He died pulling my ass out of the fire, and I still let him face it alone. How can I remember him without remembering that? He'd tell me to pull my head out of the muck and look to what's ahead. That I messed up, but that's no reason to keep messing up. And he'd probably do it over a cup of his awful murk brew. I never realized I'd let my failure change the way I remembered him. One of the things I loved about Tama was how he gave us all a fresh start. No matter where we'd come from or what we'd done. I drifted to Paradise, but never thought about where I'd go from this. Tama always talked about the places he hoped to see. The islands of Deadfire, the tundras of Nasitok, the ancient cities of Old Valia. Maybe I ought to see some of those places for us both. As a traveler, not a soldier. Once we've stopped the Dreamscourge and dealt with the Steel Garrote. One way to find out, isn't there? I've got some things to sort out, but it feels good to have something to look forward to.
What a beautiful view. Think this is what the cartographer referred to.
Listen, thank you for visiting Tama's memorial with me. I didn't think I'd ever trust someone the way I trusted him, but both of you have a clarity of purpose I've never seen in anyone else. I'm happy to be proven wrong. Like I just woke up with a hangover. Every feeling, every memory I tried to keep a lid on is sloshing around, and I'm struggling to keep my balance. But I'm also remembering moments I hadn't let myself think on in a long time. Feeling warmth I couldn't get close to. It's a process.
We think of grief as a burden, as something to be conquered. After a while, it gets to be so familiar, it's almost a source of comfort.
I wish this were another burden to conquer. That would feel easier. It's hard to imagine grief ever being a comfort, but I'll have to take your word for it.
I'm sure you'll be fine.
Thanks. I'll get there. And thank you for seeing this through with me. Was there something else? Shake the sand out of your bedroll before you settle in.